Hey guys, what's up? Him here, and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we had a few minutes of the Shadow Temple, and then after that, essentially just went around, went through Gerudo's Fortress, and did a few things there. But in this episode, we are actually starting things off with a little bit of post-commentary here. It's only going to be for about 6 minutes or so, and that is because I finally got around to doing the 4th bottle quest, which is hunting for Poes. Now, these Poes are out in Hyrule Field, and they're also in the graveyard. However, the ones we're looking for are only in Hyrule Field. I'll show a little bit of a difference between the big Poes that we're looking for and the regular ones that we've seen before, and just how they look different in a moment. But what we are planning on doing is going to Hyrule Field. There are 10 big Poes out in there, and they each are in different locations on the map. So I'll be going to each of those positions there, getting the Poe by shooting it with 2 arrows each time, and then collecting the Poe's soul in a bottle. Because I only have 3 bottles, obviously I have to make multiple trips out there, but of course 3 at this current point in time is the maximum you can have, so that's just what's going to happen. If you have less, then it will take even more time. Either way, that is essentially what this first part is here. In addition to this, if you do run out of money, I will go ahead and mention that you can also use the grass in Hyrule Field to get extra arrows, or you can go to the bazaar, which I show here in a moment, and buy them for 90 rupees a piece. The big Poes do sell for 50 rupees each to this guy, so even if you're kind of low on rupees and you have to, use 90 rupees to buy more arrows, you should be able to easily make that back, as 2 Poes will get you all of that plus another 10 rupees, and hopefully by this point you're pretty high when it comes to your wallet anyway, and you should have the large one by now for sure, so that should not be too much of an issue. Now, I do go through these a little bit quickly, not crazy quick, but if they are a little bit too fast, make sure that you can always just check in the bottom right-hand screen the map. That will show my position with the yellow arrow, so you can get an idea of where that is. But I'll be trying to show off exactly where each one is anyway, or at least give a decent description of them. I do show all my successes. There were quite a few fails, and a few of them, because some of these Poes are a little bit frustrating to get. So, without further ado, let's get on Epona and go ahead and get started. This first one here, before we start, I just figured I would go ahead and show what happens when you bring the Poes in, because I had to, get 3 at a time. So each time you bring in a Poe, he'll give you 50 rupees, and he'll put 100 points in your card that he gives you when you first come in. So if you earn 1,000 points, then you will get the next bottle. Right here, I'm just showing in Kakariko where you can go buy the arrows. But you will need 1,000 points. I believe the small or the regular Poes they actually do give you points, but it's only like 1 point, so it would not be worth your time trying to get that. So, the first one is actually pretty easy here. Whenever you come out into Hyrule Field from where the bazaar used to be, there's this signpost right here, and if you run right past this on Epona, the post should appear. Hit it twice with an arrow, and it will fall. This one's pretty easy to get, nothing incredibly difficult. Just note that if they get too far away, because you have to be moving on Epona while shooting here, or otherwise they'll get away, or if they run into a wall, then they will disappear, and you'll have to reactivate it by running by the specific spot again. So in catching the big Poe, you will automatically store it in a bottle. If you don't, then the Poe will fade away, and you'll have to, I think, leave and re-enter the area, so make sure you don't do that. The second one right here is just outside of Lon Lon Ranch. It's technically by this tree. I would recommend running in between the tree and the perimeter of Lon Lon Ranch in order to get it so it doesn't go into the wall. That seemed to be the easiest way to get it, at least for me. I got that one on my first try as well, so pretty simple. The third one is way over here in the northwest corner. You have to run through a specific bush, which in this case was that one right there. So if you keep running through them around this area, and when you run into the right bush, the Poe will appear. As you've already seen, it doesn't matter whether it's day or night, these Poes will show up if you go in the right spot. The next one is actually a little bit south of that. It's next to the area that's the entrance to Gerudo Fortress. This was the one that probably gave me the most trouble. You have to run kind of parallel to this tree without making sure that the Poe goes into the wall, which it almost did right there. So that one might take a couple tries. As you can see, my arrow counter significantly decreased from that one. So yeah, it was a little bit more difficult to get that one. The next one's actually very close by that as well. It's actually in the intersection right there. That was the tree that I just activated, but if you run through this little V intersection right here, it should appear. You have to try to get it right there, though, or else it's going to go up onto the top of this cliff area, and you're not going to be able to get it. The next one is way down here near the south. It's just around Lake Hylia. If you run by the perimeter of one of these trees, it should appear. This one takes a little bit longer, so don't give up immediate hope. But once you do that, it's usually in a wide open area, so you should have no problem being able to shoot it down, unlike the previous 2. The next one is also in this area. Running by this boulder right here will make it appear, and once again, like the last one, it's in a very wide open area, so it's not that difficult to reach. Once you hit it twice, then it will of course fall, and you'll be able to pick it up. Right here I'm also showing off, since I got on the horse, that's what a regular Poe looks like. You can see how it looks a little bit different from the other ones. You can fire 2 arrows at it. In this case, I accidentally ran it over with a Epona, but either way, not going to bother picking it up. Just figured I'd show it. Number 8 is whenever you run by the silver boulder, it's kind of headed on the way to Kokiri Forest from south to west, or from south to east. You can run by that silver boulder and it should appear. I will also go ahead and mention right now that you can either warp back using the Prelude of Light and get there quicker if you're near the end of Hyrule Field, or you can just ride back there on Epona. Number 9 is by this little intersection that's kind of shaped like a V or a Y without one of the forks on it between Kokiri Forest and Lon Lon Ranch. You can either get this by staying on the top portion and actually waiting for the ghost to appear and shooting it twice quickly, or you can run along the bottom to where it won't get stuck anywhere. Lastly, number 10 is on this little plateau just outside of the entrance to Kakariko Village. You'll get a better view of it when I shoot down the Poe. But this one I would go ahead and recommend standing still for. The direction that Epona faces is the direction it will appear in. So just fire 2 shots quickly, and you should be able to get it pretty easily. So, with that all being said and done, I did not return the 10th Poe yet, so we will be returning to live commentary now. Alright guys, so we are back. Sorry about having to do all that commentary in post, but it was 6 minutes of post commentary or 35 minutes of me actually showing the whole thing. So I figured, as fun as it would be to have a screw around episode, like doing it Poe hunting, really? No, that would be really annoying. So, wait a minute, wow, you've earned 1,000 points! A ghost or whatever this thing's supposed to be probably wouldn't actually be, you know, saying it like that, but young man, you are a genuine ghost hunter. Is that what you expected me to say? I don't know what I would expect you to say. Because if you have an extra inventory of big posts, this will be the last time I can buy ghosts. You're thinking about what I promised would happen when you earned 1,000 points. Well, yeah, obviously. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Just take this. And you get an empty bottle. After you put something in this bottle, set it to the C-stick when you want to use the item inside. So that is the 4th and final bottle in the game. Personally, if you're playing along and you're not going for 100%, don't even bother with that bottle. If you want to get through the game quicker, you really don't need 4 bottles. 3 is plenty, and with the exception of the blue fire part in the ice cavern, 2 is plenty, to be honest. But, I mean, it's up to you. If you're going for all the Skulltula tokens, you might want them to store bugs, but either way. So, on our item screen, we are only missing 2 different types of Aereo variants, and those will not be gotten until after the Spirit Temple. The shield right there that's missing will be after the Spirit Temple. The Spirit Medallion will be at the Spirit Temple, and I still need 6 more tokens to get that last piece of heart, and the other heart container is from the temple. So with that being said and done, even though I walked out into Hyrule Field, I think we might have enough time to get through the child segment of the Spirit Temple. I don't remember how long it is, but I know it's not crazy long. So hopefully we'll be able to get through that, and then I'll be able to stop the video there and then do the adult segment of the temple in the next episode. We'll have to see, though. It's been a while since I played the Spirit Temple. Usually in my run-through of games, whenever I feel like just messing around on this, I usually stop at about post-Water Temple. I usually go through the Water Temple, though. If nothing else, to typically be reminded of how to do it. You'd think I would stop before the Water Temple, but no. Usually I play through it. Either way, let's switch back into being a kid here, because if you'll recall from the last episode, while we could go into the Spirit Temple as an adult, we would not be able to get very far without the gauntlets made of silver, or otherwise known as the Silver Gauntlets. What a surprise. And in order to get those, we'll have to be a kid, so... Wow, I actually played the song correctly. I'm very surprised. Every other time I got it wrong. And I actually didn't stop to think about it either. You'd think for it being my favorite song, I would remember it a little better, but At least it's not as bad as the New Wave Bossa Nova. I swear I can't remember that one from Majora's Mask at all. Hello, camera. Hello, levers. I'm going to ignore you. Oh, hi. Now that we don't need the magic beans anymore, I'll go ahead and remove that and switch to these two. I don't think you need the Lens of Truth at any point, at least not in the child segment of this, so I'm not going to bother with it. Just going to ignore these pots. Out of curiosity, is there... looks like there's nothing up there. Well, I'm going to ignore it then. Hello. I haven't seen you around, kid. Well, I'm not surprised. What do you want? To see the temple or looking for the sages or nothing really? Your choice will be nothing really. Because, she says, you have nothing to do? What good timing. Can you do me a favor, kid? Wait a second. I want to ask you first. You wouldn't happen to be one of Ganondorf's followers, would you? What if I am, or I hate Ganondorf. I hate Ganondorf. I wouldn't say I hate him, I just really dislike him. You've got guts. I think I like you. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Noboru of the Gerudo. Oh, geez, that's probably not a good thing we said we hate Ganondorf, right? You'd think so, but you'd be wrong. She's a lone wolf thief. But don't get me wrong. Though we're both thieves, I'm completely different from the Ganondorf. With his followers, he stole from women and children, and he even killed people. Oh my gosh! What a terrible man! Thieves never kill people in real life, right? Ever? No, not at all. Kid like you may not know this, but the Gerudo race consists of only women. Only one man is born every 100 years. I'm not sure how we actually managed to, keep a decent population, but, apparently that happens. Even though that our laws say that the lone male Gerudo must become king of the Gerudo, I'll never bow to such an evil man. Okay, so the whole idea of locking up the carpenters just because they're guys, and then your leader is the one guy, that's kind of interesting. Well, anyway, I want to ask you a favor. Will you go through this tiny hole and get a treasure that's inside? The treasure is the Silver Gauntlets. If you equip them, you can easily push and pull very heavy things. And as she mentions immediately, don't even think about taking the treasure for yourself. And more importantly, even if you tried to, the Silver Gauntlets won't fit a little kid anyway. So only usable as an adult. Which is obviously why you need it for the adult segment. But only the Silver Gauntlets will allow her to sneak deep into the temple. So, despite being second in command, only to the great Ganondorf, she's actually not working with him. She's actually going behind his back and trying to take him out. So, you and I, let's give Ganondorf and his followers a big surprise, shall we? If you can successfully get the Silver Gauntlets, I'll do something great for you. Okie dokie, weirdo. The thing that I always found interesting about that, though, is in the previous episode when we unlocked the gate, they mentioned Noboru, and they were like, yeah, her headquarters are over here. And despite that, and I forgot to switch shields, whatever. I don't think I need the shield for this. Despite that, I mean, Noboru's hanging out here as a kid. Is she still trying to get the treasure as an adult 7 years from now? Have they not seen her? Did she go back? What's the story here? Well, if you head in here, in this little central area, you'll actually come to realize that, I guess it's not here. You'll actually come to realize that there's a door behind that little passageway and it's blocked, so... There we go, that got him. So defeating all the enemies will open up these doors. I believe it opens up both of them. Yes, it does. So let's start with the left one. I'm going to go ahead and equip the Hylian shield. Oh, hi. I'm actually going to switch to the boomerang really quickly here. So first, let's take out the Stalfos. Usually you're not fighting these as a kid, so it's kind of weird to see, but that's what we're doing here. Surprisingly enough, despite the fact that you're much shorter this time around, because you're still a kid, the same strategy of kind of just running forward and stabbing them works surprisingly well here. And once he's taken care of, you'll notice that there is a switch on the other side of this little grating. So throw this a little bit to the left, and it will swing around and hit it and drop that for you. You can just run through the bubble or ignore it, either one. Ignore the pots, and I believe this is a key. If not, it's a recovery heart. Oh, it's a Deku Shield. Fitting. Very, very fitting, since I just lost mine. Here we have an Anubis enemy. I think this is also like a mummy-esque enemy, either one. The way to deal with this, if I recall correctly, that's not it. Oh, right. What you're supposed to do is lure it into the fire here because it's extremely weak to fire. However, I'm just going to run forward and use Din's Fire on it. Because I don't care. And you do have to kill it because that's the only way to unlock the door. So I would not recommend doing it the way the game intends. Just use Din's Fire. You've had it for a while now. And really, the only time I actually used it was to open up the Shadow Temple where it was required. So, might as well use it now. There is a Wall Master in here, as Navi just mentioned. So watch out for him. I'm going to go ahead and kill the bat and wait for him to come down and get rid of him before trying to do anything else in this room. Hello, Mr. Wallmaster. He's going to take a couple more hits since I'm using the Kokiri sword, not the big Goron sword or Master sword. There's a gold skulltula over there. Some bats. You actually can get them on the other side of this. Okay. Well, let's take care of them that way then. Can I get the skulltula by any chance? Yeah, you can. Can I get the token on the other side of this, or is that pushing it? Yeah, that's pushing it. Okay. Unless the boomerang can go through this. This grating's not very reliable if I can get stuff through it. I mean, it kind of makes sense and kind of doesn't. The token went through it, so that works. Is the bat gonna hit me or no? No, he's not. Okay, so the bat can't hit me, but okay, whatever. Yeah, there's another one up there. Luckily, the little silver rupees here are pretty easy to get. Most of them are on the ground where you can pick them up, and there's two in the corners here, but that's it. And it looks like we need Din's Fire again. I wanted to keep the Ocarina on my C-stick, but it looks like it's not really proven to be much use, so I guess I'll go ahead and switch out for Din's Fire. And a really bad camera angle. Wow, that was quite nice. Let's go back here where this was and grab the key, because I'm assuming this one is actually the key. Yes, it is. Behold, a dungeon that actually has keys in it as a kid. And the bottom of the well is more of a mini dungeon, but this is actually part of a temple, so the one key we needed was right there. I guess you actually did have to go in that direction, though, because if you went in the other way, you could light the flames to get the chest to appear, but you'd have no way of getting the silver rupees to unlock the door, so this probably just has Deku Nuts. I think the other one has bombs. Oh, some bombs. Yeah, sweet. Let's open up the door. Some Deku Nuts. Wasn't trying to do that. Hello. Yeah, we got 50. That'll work. I was looking at what it dropped, and to be honest, it didn't matter unless it was a heart. I wasn't going to bother picking it up. Full in slingshot ammo and don't need any money. Okay, let's get rid of you. I think there's a Lysalfos in here. Yeah, here he is. What? No. How did I get sent flying back from that? Yeah, I'm too lazy to pull out Deku 6 this time around. I'll just deal with it normally. Now what you're supposed to do here is there's a cracked wall right here that's going to reveal sunlight on this sunblock, and whenever you do that, the door will open. And out of curiosity, what does this do? Reveals a treasure chest somewhere. Up there? Interesting spot to put it. Whatever. So, you would normally send a bomb chute up this wall if you had it, but you don't even have to do that. If you want, you can get a bomb, and whenever it's about to explode, throw it up, and if you're close enough to the wall, I was not close enough, I was high enough though, then you can break it open that way as well. So you don't need a bomb shoe, but if you want to do that, then that works too. It's kind of up to you. If you don't have any, then you can do that. That was Lysalfos that I'm going to ignore because he will not drop anything. Instead, I'm going to push this statue down here because that is a switch that needs to be active by having something on it at all times. We'll head up here. That is a scarecrow statue, which clearly has a skulltula over there, so that's all that that's for. I know one of these rooms has a skulltula, like, just whenever you go in and you look behind you where the door is, it'll be there. Okay, this is another room that's got torches in it, so I would recommend first and foremost getting rid of the Beamos, because they're a pain. And I think there's one more hanging around here somewhere. Yeah, he's over here in the corner. I see him. I'll take some more bombs, though. Hoo-yah! Oh, that was a terrible throw. You don't get anything for killing them, but they are out of the way, and that's what's more important than anything else. So first and foremost, go ahead and use Din's Fire to light this torch. I say this one because this is the only one that will remain lit. Well, I thought it would be. Oh, no, wait. I'll bet you there's a switch somewhere in the room, or it's the rupees. It's going to be one of those two things. Whoa, okay. I think it's actually the rupees. Huh, I thought it was the switch. I guess not. Can I just jump this? No, I can't jump up there from where I am. I actually have to go on the smaller block. Okay. I'll play your game. There's one more after this, I believe. Nope, that was the last one. And doing that will light the torch. Okay, cool. And from here, the puzzle's pretty obvious. Ow. I remember you actually have to do that puzzle pretty quickly, like the whole lighting the torches thing, because they go out pretty fast. So I'm glad I managed to get that in one try. This should be a key. Awesome. But the door is still locked, so you're wondering, okay, well, what was the point of getting the key if the door's locked? Well, we will need the key later. The way to unlock the door... Oh, I don't need to push that one. Is to get, once again, the sun... in this case, the sun block, but normally it's just the sun itself into the light. So let's go ahead and push this out of the way. Once it's duly out of the way, then we'll pull this into the sunlight. Normally the suns are completely immovable and it's the light you're going to have to be changing, but for right now that's not the case. For those of you that have played like Wind Waker or played this game before or played Majora's Mask, you probably know how you're going to be switching the light around. If you haven't heard me say what the dungeon item was here already besides the Silver Gauntlets. So that unlocks the door. So with key in hand... Yeah, this one's it right here. Hoo-yah! Hey, I got it. Cool. Let's throw the boomerang at this. So that should put us at 46. We only need 4 more tokens before we can get the Skulltula heart piece. But see what I mean? Like, I haven't really been going out of my way to get all 100 tokens, and I'm still pretty close to 50. Right here we have a... I don't remember if these are called Iron Knuckles or Dark Nuts in this game, but either way, let's go ahead and get set up for this fight. I am going to use the Deku Sticks here, so fair warning about that. Let's go ahead and get his bio. Is it a... No, it is an Iron Knuckle. Watch out for its axe attack. It hurts a lot. Strike when it drops its guard. Yeah, this thing does 4 hearts of damage for every hit it inflicts on you. This is probably the one time in the game I would condone using Neri's Love and not seeing it as playing completely unfair, because this guy is insane. Now, you will still take the knockback, and I would recommend spamming the Deku Sticks. Especially since we have 30 of them from all the, you know, weapon pickups. Eventually he'll lose part of his armor like that, as you see he got stunned. Thank you for knocking me into the heart. If you want him to knock down the pillars to give you hearts, you can do that too. Ouch. Once he loses his armor, he loses, you know, the fact that he doesn't actually recoil from damage, and you can play very, very defensively without any, you know, issue whatsoever. I'm going to take that, that'll bring me up to full health. Nera's Love's about worn out, so really it's about perfect duration for that fight. If you use the sword, then it might run out beforehand. And guess what? I am very excited to see the owl. You know why? Because this is the last time in the game we'll be seeing him. Except for maybe in the credits, but whatever. A long time in this world is almost nothing to you, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's not like I had anything else to do. Even though I thought the Tales of a Boy Who Could Travel Back in Time, yada yada yada. You fully master as an adult. Do you want to hear what I said again? No, thank you, and goodbye. He will continue to watch us, and we'll be seeing him in Majora's Mask. Not as many times, thankfully. But with that all said and done, that is the child portion of this, and it's about on schedule with what I was hoping for. I was hoping for about 19 minutes, so that works quite well. But we have picked up the Silver Gauntlets. If you wore them, you could feel the power in your arms, the power to lift big things with A. But these gauntlets won't fit a kid. Plus, you promised to return them to Naboru. You should probably keep your word, or you should keep your word. However, in this cutscene, we'll be finding out shortly that there's not much need to keep our word, because she's going to need saving, and the only way to save her is by using the thing that she wanted us to get for her. That's right, Ganondorf's followers, Konume and Kotate, those two witches, also known as the Spirit Temple bosses in this game, are using, I believe it's, yeah, just saying they're using black magic on her. Basically, they've captured her, and since we'll be re-entering this as an adult, they've got 7 years to brainwash her into the minion she will become. And he just looks around like, okay, that happened. So that is it for the child segment of the Spirit Temple. I will see you guys next time for the adult segment of it. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been Pitmarthroy with some more of Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I will see you in the next one. Later.